If you're paying too much for costly print or newspaper ads, or would like to try television advertising, then give Positive Promotions a call at 302-292-3994. Or to find out more about our television and video production services, go to our website at www.posprotv.com.
This is your business.
Hello and welcome. I'm Robert Johnston, Vice President for the Delaware State Chamber of Commerce, and this is Your Business. This is a brand new show about, for, and by the Delaware State Chamber of Commerce and its members. Today we'll be talking with Delaware business leader, President and CEO of Happy Harry's, Al Levin. Later, we'll be heading to Georgetown for that Delaware Tradition Returns Day for a look at the 144th Assembly and what it means to Delaware businesses. We'll be right back with CEO and President of Happy Harry's, Al Levin. Don't go away. Well, welcome back. Our guest today is President and CEO of Happy Harry's, Al Levin. And Alan, the big news that everyone is talking about is the merger with Walgreens. A few people that are a little upset about this.
Well, and I understand they're being upset. First of all, this merger took place in July. Walgreens is today the largest drug chain in the United States. But size doesn't really tell the whole story about Walgreens. Walgreens started as a family company, similar to us 102 years ago by C.R. Walgreen. It's a great company with some great values. Quite frankly, my decision to move into this merger was really predicated on where the industry is going. Right. Pharmacy today has become more of a commodity than it is really of the personal service. It's all dollars and cents. And while I felt strongly we could compete in that, I also worried about how our competitors could not compete. Right. And what that would lead us to down the road, meaning to take plans that may not be profitable for us and maybe not allow us to effectively compete as we went forward. So when Walgreens and I began talking a little over a year ago, their CEO and I, Dave Bernauer, really had a good understanding. We've known each other for 10 years. We've been friends for a long time. And I will tell you that it was a very difficult decision, but it was also a decision that, in my mind, allowed the company, first and foremost, to stay with the people that made it. All of our employees that are in the stores have been retained, which was important to me. A good portion of our office and warehouse crew have been retained either in Newark, where we're based, or have been offered positions outside of Newark in Chicago, South Carolina, Texas, Florida, things like that. Is it a perfect thing? No, it's not. Is it the way it was? No, but that doesn't mean it can't be better. Right. Nothing's going to be the same. Nothing ever is the same. Right. It's either worse or better. I'd like to believe that down the road it's going to be better, and I think it will be. The best thing about this, from my point of view, is that they will have access, the patients in Delaware will have access to prescriptions everywhere in the United States. Walgreens has stores in 48 states now. The only states they're missing are Hawaii and Alaska. And I think by this time, when this airs, I think you'll find out that they may be in one of those states as well. So to me, I really feel that this was the natural progression of the company in view of what was going on industry-wide. I've had, a great outpouring from the community, both positive and negative, quite frankly. But I think in the end, once we're through the transition, and this has been a rough transition in some ways, trying to get systems to work together. Once we get through that, I think everything will be fine. It's just those first 60 to 90 days that have been very trying in a lot of ways. But our employees are up. They're going to make this work. Walgreens is a great company for them to grow with. And what I insisted on when we did this deal was the commitment back to the Delaware community, which for us was important because we always valued our place in Delaware. I was always proud that we had won the last 3 years in a row the Community Service Award from the News Journal. That was neat, and I'm not sure we'll win it again this year, but at least Walgreens saw that that was important enough to continue that commitment to the community. So we're continuing to do that.
Now, you had mentioned conversation we had earlier that in the conference room where all the negotiations were going on, there was a banner on the wall. Can you tell us what the banner said?
Yeah, you know, usually what happens in these deals are that, you know, the big guy swallows up the little guy and they just say, well, the heck with them. You know, we don't care what they say or anything else. Walgreens, first of all, has not acquired a company in over 20 years. This was their first acquisition in that time. So for all the people that are players in this from Walgreens, they've never done this because they all had started their careers 20 years ago. So in their war room, as they called it, it was their Katrina room because they had over 100 stores that were affected by Hurricane Katrina. They converted that to this room, and it was a top secret room because it was, they didn't want to release it to the public or to their employees until they knew it was going forward. And obviously in our case, I didn't want anybody knowing about it until we were committed. But over the big banner said, this is a marriage, not a takeover. And that really is the way it has been. I won't tell you we don't clash every now and then. You've got two different cultures. You have a small business company, one that, you know, our sales were just shy of $500 million. Their sales are $55 billion. But when you get right down to it, our philosophies of serving the consumer are the same. And I think that's the most important thing.
And the fact that they call this a marriage really is evident of the respect level that they have for the operation that exists. Another example is that the name Happy Harry's is going to stay on the storefronts for a period of time, not decided yet, I understand.
Yeah, and you know, obviously how long that will be, you know, I've heard upward estimates of up to 5 years. Clearly there's a lot of brand equity to the name. There's no doubt about it. People like Happy Harry's. They feel good about Happy Harry's. It's Delaware. It's what we do. And they know that. They're very committed to maintaining what we do. At the same time, there are economic benefits that they make being under one name, one umbrella. We have already taken in all of their private label products, which was substantially more than what we carried. We carried approximately 1,200. They have over 1,600 private label brands. So that's an added savings to the consumer. We were just not big enough to buy all the private labels they have, but they obviously have that buying clout. You'll see some 24-hour stores pop up in this market, which will be a big plus as well. All the things that we weren't sophisticated enough to do that they're very good at. And I think in the end, today it may be tough, but in the end, I think people will say this was a good thing.
Okay. All right. And how about you? You're going to stay on for a little while and kind of with the transition, and then after that, any plans? Anything?
Not at this time. I don't have any plans. My agreement with them is to remain for 3 years.
Okay.
And as long as my key continues to fit in the door, I guess I'll still show up every day, which is what I do.
Okay, now we're running out of time, but there's one question I have to ask since you're here.
Why?
Rumors about that you might see your name on a ballot. Any truth to that rumor? Any indications in that direction?
You know, it's a difficult decision. And years ago, I would tell you that I would definitely have done it. As I get further away, and I've had the benefit of working with some great political people. One of my mentors was Bill Roth, a gentleman that I really respect and revered in a lot of ways. I think as I get older, I think I get wiser and probably would not consider that. But the senator years ago told me never to say never to anything, so I'll leave it at that. But I will tell you that I wouldn't bet on it, so we'll leave it at that.
All right, well, thank you, Alan. We wish you well and whatever your future holds. Coming up next, roasted ox and oyster sandwiches. We're heading to Georgetown for that Delaware Tradition Returns Day. Come right back.